tonight. What we're going to focus on tonight is energy. The energy that exists within each of us and how we can tap into that and utilize it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask, please, I'm going to have you just grab hold right there, if you will, with your hand. Perfect. And I'm going to have you reach across as best you can, because I'm going to have, if you will, grab with your hand, that, just like that. Perfect. Now, nothing happens, as you can see, when you two do that. However, if you'll now touch index fingers from your other hands to each other, you see the energy flow. And if you release, perfect. Now, if you'll touch an index finger, please, to his, and if you'll touch an index finger, the long arm of the law, thank you. Now, if you'll both touch your opposing index fingers, but you'll still have to, there, and you'll have to hold on here. We could go around the whole room and do this, and you can let go, and it will no longer light. Thank you. This is the energy that we're going to be utilizing here tonight. Energy. In this bag, I have 5 globes. And you'll see that 4 of the globes are silver, and they have silver striping in them. One of the globes is black and has gold striping in it. Gold has the best conducting for energy, the best conduction. Silver is good as well, gold is even better. So I'm going to take the golden globe and infuse my energy into it. I'm going to drop it into the bag. And then I'm going to ask, may I hand you the bag in a moment? And when I do, I'm going to ask you, please, without looking, to reach in, remove 1 globe in your hand without looking. So you have no idea which globe you have, the silver globe or the black globe with the gold. And then I'll take the bag back from you, okay? So I'm going to hand you the bag, and then ask you, please, without looking, to reach in, to remove 1 globe, keep it in your hand so no one knows what it is, keep your hand surrounding it, then I'll take the bag back. Excellent. You have a globe. And now we'll come over here. And I'm going to ask, may I hand you the bag? And without looking, I'm going to ask you to reach in, remove a globe without looking, and then I will have you hold it in your hand. When you're done, I'll take the bag back. May I? Excellent. Thank you. We will then come back. We'll come back over here. May I hand you the bag? Ask you please to reach in without me looking, remove a globe, and when you're ready, just say, Dave, I'm ready. Perfect. I will take the bag back. You have a globe, you have a globe. Globe over here. And now we'll come back over here, if I may. May I hand you the bag? And I ask you please to reach in. I'm going to have you, without looking, remove a globe. When you're ready, say, Dave, I'm ready.
Dave, I'm ready.
Perfect. Take this back. 1 globe is left, and only 1 will come across. May I hand you the bag? And I ask you please to reach in and remove a globe. There's only 1 globe left. So I'm going to ask you when you're done, I'll take the bag back, have you hold your globe. Very good. Thank you. Those of you that are holding a globe, will you please hold your hand up in the air? Because my goal is to feel the energy. Yes. Now in a moment, I will select one of you, and when I do, I'm going to ask, please don't be disappointed. I get the sense you have a silver globe. Will you please turn your hand over, expose your globe, and you'll see it is in fact a silver globe. Because we're looking for, thank you for your participation, the black globe with the gold in it. Because that energy is radiating from it. Please don't be disappointed. However, in a moment, when I ask you to turn your hand over, we're going to remove a silver globe. Please, if you will, if you'll expose the globe, and it is a silver globe. We now have 1, 2, 3 globes. We're looking for the black globe. We're looking for the energy. You have a globe? You have a globe. I'm sorry. In a moment, I'll have you turn your hand over because I'm going to take back from you a silver globe. Yes, thank you. 2 globes left. Now makes it easier now because one globe will be the black globe with gold, one will be the silver globe. The energy is very strong. I feel the force. Before you open your hands, yes, you have the silver globe. And you have the black globe. Would you please show us the black globe? Absolutely. Thank you. And I will take back the silver globe. Thank you. Energy.
It's magic.
Thank you. It is. I like that. A single die and a cup. And we're going to take the die, drop it into the cup, and if we shake it up, you'll note we get a number. And if we shake it again, most likely we get a different number. Is that correct? So I'm going to ask, we're going to use 2 individuals for this. Person 1, person 2. If I may I hand you the cup? You'll be number 1. I'm going to ask you, please, to shake up the cup in a moment. Yeah, you shake it up. You go ahead, you can do it now if you want. And what you'll notice, you'll look in and you'll see a number. Am I right? Now, I don't know if you're satisfied with that number or not. Are you happy with that number?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Please remember your number. I don't want to see it, but I'm going to ask you to hand the cup to whomever you want. They will be person number 2. Very good. I'm going to ask you, please, to shake the cup. You'll look in, you'll see a number. Do you like the number?
Yes.
Okay, very good. What we're going to do is this. Person number 1, person number 2. What we would like to do is we're going to create a page number. Now, do you want us, we can have your number as the first number of a page, and yours is the second, or we can have yours as the first number and yours is the second. How would we like to do this? Or we can add them both together and create a whole new number. What would you like us to do?
Let's have mine be the second.
And yours the first. Very good. Now then, what I'm going to ask you both to do is I'm going to ask you both to confer, because you both will have to hear what each number is so you know what to do, because you don't know the number here and you don't know the number there. So please, if you will, I'm going to ask you both to confer, because I'm going to hand one of you the dictionary. And I'm going to ask you please to turn to that page in the dictionary. Okay? So I want you both to confer so you know to which page to turn. Because you've got it, and when you get to that page,
Yep.
I'm going to ask you, please, to look. I'm going to ask you to look at the top of the page to the first column on that page. I'm going to ask you to concentrate on a word. Because as you do, I'm going to write a word.
Stealing your gig.
It's not
I have written a word. I'm committed. Maybe I should be. I've written a word, and I'm going to ask, please, if you will, I have no idea what page you all selected or what page you turned to. would you please tell us out loud what the word was, the first bold print defined word at the top of that page?
It is Frank.
Frank, how do you spell that?
F-R-A-N-K.
Oh my
And does it match this word?
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow.
Numbers. We've been using energy and letters, and now we use numbers. Is there anyone here amongst us tonight who has a comfort level with bingo? It doesn't mean you've spent way too much time in different gaming houses. Anyone here comfortable with bingo? Thank you. Very good. Dr. Sheaf, thank you. I brought with me 6 bingo cards. Now the bingo cards have numbers on them from 1 to 47. And I'm going to ask silently. Chuck, I want you to think of any number from 1 to 47. Just
Okay.
think of a number. Once you have it, I want you to say, Dave, I have my number.
Dave, I have my number.
Excellent, because what I'm going to do now, Chuck, I'm going to show you these cards. And I'm going to ask you silently to scan the card. And I'm going to ask, do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Very good. Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yes.
You do. Very good. Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yes.
And do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Please concentrate on your number. I once had a job in an orange juice factory and I lost it because I couldn't concentrate. Only encouraged me Thank you. As you concentrate on your number, Chuck, what's happening is I'm seeing the same number twice. And please, if I'm getting this right, I want you to get excited because I'm seeing the number 22. Is that close?
It's very close.
Is that exact?
It's
All right. May I hand you this envelope and ask you just to hold on to that for us for a bit? I brought a dry erase board with me tonight, and I'm going to ask your help with this, all of us here. Together, we will create a number. I hope you all can see that. I'm going to ask now, may I please have you give me any number from 2 to 9?
7.
7. And now I'll ask, please, for any number from 2 to 9.
3.
And then I'll ask any number, Steve, from 2 to 9.
Can you repeat?
Sure.
3.
Very imaginative, Steve.
If you see an excellent choice, you just go.
Well done. And if I may, please, any number from 3 to 9.
10.
Now, I like that. I like that.
Under.
Under 9, sweet.
Less than 9. How about your age? How old are you? 5.
All right, I like it.
Do you need a fresh dry marker?
Well, do you know, I think what I'm going to do,
I've got one.
do you?
Uh-huh.
If I, Chuck, before you do, let's look. I brought several with me
Nah, I'm just gross.
based on the fear that
I run out all the time.
these would dry out on me. Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
Chuck, we're
We're
good.
good.
We're good. Chuck, thanks.
Yeah.
We're really cooking with gas
Good,
now.
okay.
Boy. And we have one number left. Thanks, Chuck.
All right.
One number left. Three. What number would you like? Three. From 2 to 9.
Go 6.
All right. Thank goodness we aren't going more numbers because we've hit the end. You all have created the number 173,356. Totally random. Yes? We'll set it right here. Now I'm going to ask, if it's okay, I'm going to ask for, may I borrow you? Is that okay? I'll bring you forward. Because, and I'm going to give you the marker, and I'll hold it up. Because if I may as well, I'm going to ask you to open the envelope, if you will. You see, there's something in that envelope. Another envelope. And I'll ask you please to open that envelope, and then I'll have you hand me what's inside of that. Thank you. Yes. A card with 4 5-digit numbers that I wrote on here last night. I was sound asleep, and I awoke at 3 in the morning, and I was dreaming of numbers. You all know where this is going. And I wrote the numbers down and put them in the 2 envelopes, and I appreciate you keeping a guard over them throughout this evening. And so now I'm going to ask if we might. I will hold this up, and I'm going to ask you, please, if you will, to write these numbers under here.
Okay.
We'll have 4 5-digit numbers. We want to leave enough space. The first number is 53250. Excellent. 34627 62245 and 23234. Now we'll draw a line under here. Perfect. And now we need to add these. I know, not to worry. Let's see what we have. We have 7 and 5 is 12 and 4 is 16. Carry our 1. 7 and 7 is 14 and 1 is 15. Carry our 1. 6 and 6 is 12 and 1 is 13. Carry our 1. 5 and 7 is 12 and we carried 1 is 3. Carry our 1. And we have 8 and 8 is 16 and 1. We'll put 1 7.
Oh my God.
And what you all will notice, yes, with your help, your number, the number you all created matches our 4 5-digit.
He's a witch. Do we get to burn him?
Numbers. We'll do a little more with numbers if it's okay. We are all unique as individuals because of our fingerprints. No 2 sets of fingerprints are the same. Interestingly enough, American currency is similar. The dollar bill is unique in that every single dollar bill has a different serial number. No 2 serial numbers are the same. I brought dollar bills tonight. I bought $30 bills at the bank. And I split them into 2 packets of 15. Now I'm going to ask, please, may I have you take your stack of dollar bills and I just want you to mix them thoroughly, face down.
I wouldn't give them to him.
You gotta watch retired bankers.
I have a count.
How to finger them.
Yes. I'm going to ask you, please, to shuffle. Excellent. Really shuffle, you mix yours face down. And then I'm going to ask each of you, once you feel they've been mixed thoroughly, I'm going to ask you each to just take one and set it down on the table in front of you. Without looking at it, I just want you to remove one, and I'll take the rest of your bills back. Very good. We'll put them back into the wall. 30 bills. And what you'll notice is no two bills are the same. We'll use one more bill. We'll take out the rest of the bills. And I'm going to ask, may I ask you just to shuffle these up thoroughly without looking at them. And I'm going to ask you to shuffle them, and then sight unseen, I'm going to have you remove one bill, and then I'll take the other 27 bills back from you. When you're ready, we won't look at it, and I'll take the other 27 back. 3 bills. All 3 having different serial numbers. Now I'm going to step way back, because I'm going to ask you all now to lift up your dollar bills and to look at them. You can have folks around you to look with you if you want, because I'm going to ask you all to concentrate on the dollar bills. And I'm going to ask you all to form a picture in your mind. U.S. dollar bills are unique, and a retired banker will corroborate. They have a letter in the front, a letter in the back, and 8 numbers in between. 30 bills. 3 were selected at random. And I'm getting the following impressions. I see a D. I see a D. And I see a 0, 8, 3, 1, 1, 9, 5, 1, and that's your bill G over here. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you, Steve, very much. And I'm seeing 2 other bills, and I'm seeing a bill to my left that starts with a G. Starts with a G, and it then has the following numbers that I see in your mind. 10301-922E. Is that correct? Very good. The one bill that's left that our banker is holding. And you're A+ with me. You're starting with an A. And I see a 06081-949G. How did I do?
That's George.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
He's a witch. He's a witch. He's a witch. Yes.
I'm going to ask again if there's anyone here tonight who has a comfort level with a piece of gaming, a deck of cards. Anyone here comfortable with a deck of cards, a deck of playing cards? And I don't want anyone to be embarrassed or stressed. Are you comfortable with playing cards? It doesn't mean it's a misspent youth. It doesn't mean that at all. May I throw you a box of playing cards? I'm going to ask you to catch it. Okay, are you ready? Okay, here goes. Good catch. Excellent catch. Because now I'm going to ask you, if you will, I'm going to have you take the box of playing cards. And I'm going to ask you to open the box. And I don't want to look. I'm going to have you set the box down next to you. I'm going to have you go through the deck. I'm going to ask you, please, to look for a card, any card that you would like. Don't tell me what it is. And I'm going to have you take that card out of the deck. I'm not looking. I'm going to have you take the rest of the deck, square it face up toward the ceiling. And I'm going to ask you to take your card and put it in face down into the deck. Okay. Then I'll have you square the deck up. And then I'm going to ask you to pick up the box. Perfect. And I'm gonna have you put the cards back in the box.
In there.
And the most important thing is to close the box.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Because then I'm gonna have you throw the box back to me. Good throw. You see, I dreamt again last night that we were going to do this at 3:30 in the morning. And so I got up and I went over to this deck of cards and I opened the box and I removed the cards and I looked through and I thought, and I removed one card. I turned the deck face up, squared it, put that one card in face down, put the cards back in the box, and there it has been since 3:33 a.m. this morning. Now I'm going to ask, if you will, share out loud with all of us present the actual playing card you selected. It was the...
2 of diamonds.
That's correct. The 2 of diamonds. Now I want you to watch closely. My fingers never leave my hands. Nothing up my sleeves other than my arms. The 2 of diamonds. We were looking for one, and only one, face-down card in a face-up deck. The 2 of diamonds. We open the card. No fast, or the deck, the box. No fast or sudden moves. I remove the cards. We are looking for one and only one face-down card. And you selected the
2 of
2 of
diamonds.
diamonds. Let's look as we go through this deck. There is one and only one face-down card right there. That's it. One and only one. And may I have you come forward? My first levitation act of the evening. Without looking, I'm going to have you remove that card. And what was the card you selected? The 2 of diamonds. Thank you very much.
I know. You sent me in signal. Is she sending you signal?
No,
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know how he does it.
Without the assistance of my wife.
I don't know how he does it. It's crazy. I'm not smart enough to figure it out.
Maybe she's the witch.
I wish.
Something going on.
Books. I buy books based on their covers. Case of intuition. I like to hope and think that we all rely on our intuition every day. The casebook of Sherlock Holmes. Life itself is quite a mystery, and I look forward to reading the Sherlock Holmes mysteries and see how they're solved. The Dream of the Accused. I knew we'd have an attorney with us tonight. I wanted to have a book that would have meaning. Del Shannon's Mysteries, Death Wish, one of my favorite set of movies. Charles Bronson starred in the Death Wish series. There were so many of those movies. The last one was Death Wish meets Rocky Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And the ultimate flashback. So I brought a lot of books. And I thought that in a moment we will wrap with the books. However, before we do that, earlier this evening, someone was asked to merely think of a date, a month and a day. And that individual who was asked to just think of a month and a day never verbalized it. No one has heard what the month and the day are, is also holding a calendar. Is that correct?
Yes.
And may I ask you to produce the calendar? Very good. I am going to produce a deck of cards. Hopefully, this deck of cards is as mixed up as I am. We'll give it another shuffle. We will give this deck a cut. Now, I am going to ask, may I ask you please just to say stop at any time?
Stop.
Very good. I'm going to remove that card. I don't want to see it. You've got it, okay? Sight unseen. The cards, again, totally randomized. Yet one card was selected from that shuffled deck, yes?
Yep.
Steve, you have a calendar.
Yes.
You thought of a month and a day. None of us know what the month and the day are that you thought of. However, what I'm going to ask you to do is to take the rubber band off that calendar, and I'm going to ask you please to look into that calendar, and what do you notice about that calendar? Every day from January 1st to December 31st has a playing card handwritten into that date. Now I'm going to ask you, please, if you will, to go to the date you thought of. You don't even have to tell us what it is. I'm going to ask you to turn to the date that you silently thought of.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask you to look at the day before the date you selected. The day before the date you selected should have a card written there, yes? What is the card at the day before?
The 5 of hearts.
The 5 of hearts. So, had you selected the day before the one you just randomly thought of, it would have been the 5 of hearts. I want you to look at the day after the day you merely thought of. And what's that card?
The Queen of Spades.
The Queen of Spades. So had you selected the day before, it would have been the Queen of Spades. You didn't select either of those dates, did you? You selected the specific date you wanted. Am I right? And I have no idea what that date is, nor do any of us. However, this is interesting, because a selected card from a randomly shuffled deck was selected as well, yes? And you have that card.
Yep.
And we're going to see if the energy that we call synchronicity is at play here tonight. Because, Steve, would you please tell us, at the date that you selected, what card is the card that has been handwritten into that date?
The 2 of Spades.
The 2 of Spades. Would it be a miracle if, in fact, the card that we're able to find, would you please now pick up the card you selected random, would you please tell us what is the card you are holding?
The 2 of spades.
Oh my
Thank you very, very much.
Stack up the firewood.
That's right. Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
Books. I brought a whole bunch of them, as you all know, and I thought perhaps we would wrap with the books. I don't do such good rap. However, we'll wrap with the books. The Dream of the Accused. I'm going to ask, and Fatal Sins. I'm going to ask if there's anyone amongst us who is very comfortable with his or her vision, such that one would not be embarrassed or discomfited by going through the book. May I hand you this book?
Certainly.
Yeah. And if you have a pair of glasses, all the better. Perfect. Then I know your vision is great. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you will, to tell us how many pages are in that book. And you need not be psychic. You may turn to the last page.
280.
280 pages. Now I'm going to ask you all to allow me the poetic license to say 300, because it makes the math much easier. In a standard galley proof of a hardback book published in the United States, there are approximately 200 to 400 words per page. 300 pages, 300 pages of approximately 400 words is approximately 120,000 words. Now I'm going to ask you, if you will, please, to turn to any page in the book you want. And then I'm going to ask you, in a moment, to silently scan down that page silently to find a word. For tonight's purposes, I'm going to ask you please to silently select the biggest word, the longest word, the most letters, the most syllables, because that will make this the most impressive. Now, should you feel conflicted, as a psychiatrist, I'm familiar with that. Should you feel conflicted, you may select 2 words, if you must. And if you're not happy with the page, you may change the page. Once you've found your word or words, please no rush, biggest word, longest word, most letters, most syllables, then I'm going to ask you please to commit it to memory, and then I will ask you just to close the book, and I'll take it back. Very good. Thank you. I'm going to ask you please to hold on to those words. The dream of the accused. I'm going to ask, if I may, counselor, I will have you please tell us how many pages are in that book.
199.
199, so close to 200. Fewer words in a paperback book. However, 200 pages, about 200 words, about 40,000 words. Now I'm going to ask, please, from 1 to 199, what page would you like? 1 to 199. 82. Please, counselor, I'm going to ask you please to turn to page 82. And once you get to 82, I'm going to ask you please to look at silently the top line on page 82. I'm going to ask you please to look on that top line, and I want you to look for the biggest word, the longest word, the most letters, the most syllables. Why? Because that will make this the most impressive. And I want you to silently select the biggest word, the longest word, most letters, most syllables. And once you've got it, then I just want you to say, got it.
Got it.
I'll take the book back. Thank you. Thank you. 2 words are floating around now. Sherlock Holmes, one of my favorites. And I'm going to flip through this book. And I'm going to have you just say stop at any time you want. Just say stop.
Stop.
Are you satisfied with this page? Because I'm going to ask you to look at the first word at the top of that page. I cannot see it. Can you see it?
Got it.
Excellent. Okay, I'll have you committed to memory. Right now we have 3, maybe 4 words floating around, I don't know. And we can stop there. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask, please, I don't want you to tell us your word or words. Did you select 1 or 2? 1. Please don't tell us your word. And I'm going to ask you please to share out loud with everyone present the first letter of your word.
I.
The letter I. The letter I in and of itself doesn't tell us a whole lot. It's a pronoun. Identifies an individual. It can be even a noun, identifying a part of the body. However, for tonight's purposes, it gives us an indication. The unconscious mind goes to a word that has meaning to us. And so you're thinking of a word that reminds us that everything we do every day paints a picture to everyone around us. And if we get this, please be excited because I see you spelling in your mind I-L-L-U-S-T, that word illustration. Is that close?
That's it.
Okay, very good. And I know you were worried I was going to have a problem with your word. Is that correct?
That's the word.
Thank you. And you're concentrating on a word right now that reminds us that in fact when we are writing legal briefs, when we are preparing a courtroom presentation, we really have to become creative and we engage in the process of brainstorming. Is that close?
That's it.
Thank you.